Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nurse Nikki. So this video is going to be about why I chose to go to Resurrection University, which was the nursing school that I attended for my BSN, Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and more so about the instructors there, the grading system, all that good stuff. So I guess a lot of you guys are from Chicago and are contemplating on what school to go to for your degree. So let me just first start off by talking about a bachelor's in nursing versus an associate's in nursing. So a bachelor's degree in nursing and an associate's degree in nursing both get you to be a registered nurse. Both degrees will let you sit as a graduate nurse to take your NCLEX, which is the exam that you need to take to be licensed as a registered nurse in whatever state you decide to be licensed as. So the main difference with the programs are that bachelor degree nurses, how you go to get your bachelor's degree, the program is longer. I think the extra courses, I'm not 100% sure on the course difference, but this is my opinion from being in school for my bachelor's and knowing someone who went to school for their associates. You have to take classes like leadership in nursing, ethics in nursing, and research in nursing. And all those classes come with writing papers. And they're more so just, doing research as a nursing student. So, before you even get to nursing school, in your prereqs, you have to do research. At some point, you'll have to write a research paper, and it might be, 5 pages long. But when you're in nursing school, those research papers are going to be way more in depth. The research is going to be way more in depth as far as where you're getting the research. It can't just be from any website. You have to use nursing journals, so you have to use specific websites. All in all, when you go to nursing school for your associate's degree, you still learn the hands-on skill set to be an RN. Like, you still do the same thing. So me, for example, I have my bachelor's in nursing, and let's say someone over here, she has her associate's in nursing. We can still see the same patients and do the same exact thing. Her tag is going to say RN, mine is going to say RN. My tag might say BSN on it, and hers might say ADN or ASN, and that will be the difference there. But a patient won't just be able to say, hey, you're not a bachelor's degree nurse, are you? Like, no, it won't be that big of a difference. But there is a huge difference in pay. And also, a lot of hospitals now are sending their associate degree nurses back to school to get their bachelor's degree. And that's just with any career. Businesses, which a hospital all in all is a business, they want people to go back to school because it shows that you're more knowledgeable in whatever that career is that you decide on. So hospitals, they want their nurses to go back to get their bachelor's degree. So Malcolm X is where I did my prereqs for my nursing program. And they also offered a nursing degree, but it was an associate's degree. Same exact length as the program that I went to for my bachelor's. So, I think theirs is longer because you still have to do, the 2 years prereqs, and then theirs was 2 years after the prereqs, 2 years for your actual nursing degree. And mine, I did 2 years prereqs, and then my nursing program was 16 months, so a year and 4 months. So I think mine was even just slightly shorter, and I got, a higher degree. So it made no sense for me to stay at Malcolm X when I could go to a different school, get a better degree, and complete my program in a shorter amount of time. So it just made sense to me. But I will say that I was blessed where I could afford to go to that program. So my program at Resurrection University, all in all, it cost about $54,000 for the whole program. That's without my prereqs, just for the 16 months that I did there. In Malcolm X, I think their nursing program was closer to $12,000. I'm not sure because I knew I wanted my bachelor's, so I didn't even look up the price. Do what you can afford. Don't, if you can't afford to go for a bachelor's, then you just can't afford. Maybe you could just go for your associates and then get a job. Like I said, most hospitals do tuition reimbursement, and they will pay you to go back and get your bachelor's degree. But if you're like a new, younger nurse, I think that, if you can, just try to get your bachelor's out the way first. So that's why I ended up going to Resurrection University, the school I went to for my bachelor's degree. Also, Resurrection University is an accelerated program, so it is not a traditional nursing program. If you have kids or you're working, an accelerated program might not be for you. My school offered a day program and a night and weekend program. So the day program, which is the one I did, was 16 months, and the night and weekend program was like 18 months, I think. And that program was more geared for people who work during the week. So they would come to class at night and they would do their clinicals on the weekends. Me, I would come to class in the mornings and do my clinicals during the week. So, what do I think about the school now that I graduated? I think that it was okay. While I was in the program, I thought it was unorganized. I thought it was rushed. I thought it was just like crazy. But now that I'm a graduate of the program, and I've talked to so many other nursing students who went to different schools like Chamberlain and, UIC, even Malcolm X, tried in different nursing programs, they all said the same thing. So I'm convinced that nursing school is unorganized, hard, and rushed because it is so much information to learn. Like, we're learning about how to, take care of people, health. That starts from here and goes beyond. It's so much information to grasp. So just thinking about trying to, get all that information in 16 months, it's crazy. But my school is not the only accelerated program that there is in Chicago. Other schools offer accelerated programs, and even the, traditional programs. I've heard the same thing. Like, students think that the school is really difficult and, unorganized. And I don't know if that's really what it is or if it's just really overwhelming for students to go through this program because it's so much information. So I will give them some slack with that one. I will cut them some slack because I have heard the same thing, just universal about nursing school, that it's really unorganized because there's only so much time that you can learn all this information in. The classroom sizes are very small. I think the ratio would be 1 to 27, which is going to be really different than, a big lecture hall university setting where the ratio is 1 to 300. So I like that. I like the fact that it's, small and intimate because you feel more comfortable and you get to know your classmates. You have the same classmates throughout your start to your finish of the program. Another thing I like about my school, though, is that the clinical settings, although I didn't like all of them, they were all under the same healthcare branch. So my school was under Presence Health. So whatever hospitals are under Presence Health would be the hospitals that we could go to do clinicals at. So St. Mary's, St. Elizabeth's, Resurrection Medical Center, St. Joseph, St. Francis, etc. The instructors. So you're going to have, and this is with any school out there, because I've been to different schools, and I've seen this. This is universal. You're going to have some great instructors, and you're going to have some people who just come to work, and they don't care. And that's you can't do nothing about it. You pay for, your tuition. You're paying to sit there and learn. So, just do the best that you can. And hopefully you guys get amazing instructors. I've had some really great instructors. And I've had some instructors at that school that I had problems with. And, it was hard for me to, just swallow back. But you have to sometimes. So I will say this about the instructors. They have some really great clinical instructors, out in the hospitals that will really guide you and how to do this, that, and the third as a nurse. But as far as lecture instructors, they do have some good ones. And then they kind of got some this person really doesn't know how to lecture, which can be hard as a student because we don't need somebody who doesn't know how to lecture because it's hard to understand. So that would be one of those cases where, in my last video, I talked about watching YouTube videos. If my instructor wasn't doing a good job, explaining it to me, I either would go talk to a different instructor, which I did 3 times at my school. And I'm glad I did because that other instructor really explained it thoroughly. And, just it helped me to pass the content in that class. Or I would get on YouTube and search whatever the topic was, and I would just teach myself. And you do a lot of that in college. Scholarships. I can't tell y'all about scholarships that Resurrection offered because I didn't get any. I know that they offer a scholarship. Actually, I can't tell you about one. It's like a merit-based scholarship because my friend got it. So every semester, they would check your GPA, and if it was above, I don't even remember the GPA, but if it was above that or at that GPA, you would get awarded the scholarship. So you would get that every semester, but it checked it every semester. So it's not like, oh, your first one, you got it and then you keep it. No, if your GPA dropped, you don't get it for that semester, but you can bring it back up for the next semester and you'll be awarded the scholarship again. Our school was inside of St. Mary's Hospital. So it is a very small, St. Elizabeth's, I'm sorry. It was inside of St. Elizabeth's Hospital. So St. Mary's Hospital probably is like a known hospital to people who live like closer to the north side of Chicago. And St. Elizabeth's was the first hospital before St. Mary's even got there. So it was smaller. And my school is inside of St. Elizabeth. So it's currently a hospital. They have an emergency department and everything. So with your ID, you can get onto the university floors. And like every other floor in between would be a hospital floor. I had one of my clinicals at school on one of the hospital floors. I didn't like that. I don't want to feel like I'm still in my school setting while I'm at clinical. Like, I don't want to feel like, oh, I can go to the next floor and be, in a classroom. I want that whole hospital, experience. I want to be in a hospital. Like, technically it is a hospital, but it's also a school. And you got that mindset. You're there every day of the week already. Like, you don't want to be there for clinical too. That's just how I felt. So I did not like that. But I only had one clinical there. I don't think that you really made that a clinical site. But that was one of my complaints, and that was one of the things I was talking about, like, unorganized. Hello, why are we doing clinicals here? We had Ukrainian students, Polish students, African students, Nigerian students, students from everywhere, Hispanics, African Americans, whites, everything. It was just like a big group of just different people. I did like that. Age-wise, I was like one of the youngest students in my class. So I'm 22, and I think one girl under me was 21, and we were the youngest ones. And she turned 22, like, towards the end of the program. And then everybody else was from, like, 25 to 30. And then we had a couple that were, like, maybe from 30 to 40. So a lot of people who worked in healthcare for a long time and then are coming back to school to get their, BSN. And then also a lot of moms who, wanted to further their degree and come back to get their nursing degree. And then you had, like, fresh out of high school students. That was the one girl that was younger than me. And then me, the confused major, and who decided to come back to, nursing school. You had different majors, everything. So, you had, like, a big mixture of different age groups. A lot of the students in my class were married, with kids. So, just different than me. I like that because, it's different. And you learn a lot about different people. So, the grading system is different than what it is when you are not in nursing school. So anything under 75 is fail. It doesn't go like D, F, no. Anything under 75% is an automatic fail. 75 to 83% is a C. 84% to 91% is a B. And then 92 to 100 is an A. So that sucks because, like when you're in regular school and you like, oh, I got a 70. I almost just failed, but I passed. But at one point, you got a 70. You're like, okay, good. And when you get a 90, you're like, yes, I just made it to an A. No, that's not how nursing school works, honey. If you got a 90, that's a B. And if you got a 70, you failed. And that goes for exams and that goes for the class. Like, that's just how the grading system is. Okay, so, I'm pretty sure I missed somebody's question, but I think that I kind of like tackled the main points of my school and the curriculum and, as far as like the grading process goes. If you guys have any more questions, drop them down below or send me a message to my Instagram and I will write them down this time so I don't forget, and I'll address them in the next video. Thank you.